Hi everybody, and welcome back to Art with Mrs. S. Today we're going to be drawing a still life, and then next week we're going to be adding value to that. So you're going to want a piece of paper, preferably white paper, and then preferably pencil to draw with. If you don't have anything else, get creative. And then you're going to need a couple of found objects. So all that means is find something easy to draw around the house. The examples in the book are a lot of fruits or bowls, or I'm going to show you a couple things that I have. I have a stress ball sitting here. I got some hand sanitizer I can draw, a marker, and even things like a glue bottle can become interesting, or a crayon. So things that are just nearby, things that are simple to draw. And you're going to kind of arrange those to make them look interesting. So I'm going to move mine off camera to make them look interesting. I'm going to flatten them so you can see too. There you go. So I can have some things overlapping, and I'm going to set this up for me to draw too. And then it also asks for a viewfinder. So we're going to read a little bit here. On page 34 and 35 of your Davis Digital textbook, it says a tradition of still life. A still life is an artwork that shows objects in natural forms, often on a table. In the 1800s, Anna Claypool Peel continued the long tradition of painting still life. She liked the challenge of painting with different values, as in the example on page 8. A value still life that we're going to be using, we're actually going to be trying to use a viewfinder. All it means is use kind of a scrap piece of paper or cardboard, and we're going to kind of cut the center out of it to make a frame. You can use almost anything. You can use the old cereal box, you can use a scrap piece of paper. I'm just going to use construction paper right now. And then what that means is I can use this to look through to find a good composition. Do I want to draw that small area? Sometimes people like to squint their eyes. Do I want to zoom out and do the whole scene? What of this am I going to use? And that's going to help me out, and the viewfinder is going to help you kind of arrange that. So I'm going to move my objects and set them up similar to how they were, but yours is going to look different than mine, because again, you have different objects. So I have this arranged. You're going to want to draw large, and I'm kind of doing the contour drawing. If you forgot that is, it's kind of the outline to make these images look more interesting. So I used that viewfinder. I zoomed in. I'm going to draw my hand sanitizer. That's my biggest object first. That can be helpful. Just following along the edge of my item. You can use a toy at home. You could use something that maybe is at your desk or your workspace to help you draw. I have my hand sanitizer. I don't have to get super detailed, so I'm not even going to worry about the writing on my hand sanitizer. My next largest object, I have my glue bottle kind of sitting beside that hand sanitizer. It has that label on there too. Might write just glue on there. And I remember I had that stress ball. My stress ball, when I look at my viewfinder, it looks like it's not all in my picture or all in my rectangle. It's kind of towards the bottom. And then the last thing I have a little crayon in my art that's kind of sticking out of the bottom of my viewfinder too, so it's just barely in my image. It's a broken crayon, so it's not all there. And then I also had that marker, remember? And that marker, from my viewpoint, is kind of behind my stress ball and also kind of peeking behind that glue bottle. So I might just see part of the lid and that bottom. You'll also want to somewhat consider the background, maybe just where that table is or whatever your objects are sitting on, and then that background. You want to keep it simple. I know some of you out there are very detail-oriented drawers. You're very particular, kind of a perfectionist, if you will. But today, keep it simple so that way next week when we do that part 2, you don't have such a tough time adding those values. When you're done drawing your art, don't forget to take a picture and post to Padlet, and then save this art for next week so we can add in those values. Thanks for joining me today. I can't wait to see all of your wonderful still lifes. Have a great day.